Would you guys like to win some free skins? Make sure to join my Discord today and check out the free skin event. Over there you guys can win a bunch of free skins by participating, which can even be mythicals, so make sure to join today. Welcome back to another Unturned video. In today's video we're going to go over all of the new Rio guns. There's over 50 guns, so I'm going to discuss the most important stats. If you guys would like to see a full detailed list of each gun, I will have a link in the description below. If it's your first time here, I would really appreciate if you guys subscribe and drop a like. Let's try to reach 200 likes. Today we're also going to roll a mythical giveaway, which is a glitch dissipator maple stripe. If you guys want to win this, make sure that you have liked the video, subscribed, and comment something below, and the channel members also have a higher chance to win. Today's video is sponsored by Pine Hosting. Are you guys trying to start your own Unturned server and have no clue where to start? Then check out Pine Hosting. Pine Hosting is super easy to learn, the navigation is also very user-friendly and not hard at all to learn. All the servers have really high performance with DDoS protection. When I started my own servers, I had no idea how to do anything, but after a few minutes I learned the basics. They have locations all around the globe, the pricing is also very cheap, and they also have a variety of game servers to choose from, including Rust, Ark, and also Minecraft. A really good feature by Pine Hosting is the ability to install plugins and mods just by clicking once. If you have a server with another provider, Pine Hosting can help you move them as well. Make sure to check out Pine Hosting today and use the code LDG for 30% off, and let's get straight into the video. So the first weapon we're going to go to is called the Hairstyle. The Hairstyle is compatible with marksman magazines, and it is a primary weapon, and it is a semi and an auto weapon, and it does have 225 meter range. It has 5.95 rounds per second, and it only takes sights and barrels. As for damage, it gives 52 headshot damage, 38 to the spine, and 28 to the arms and to the leg. For this you can also put in an extended marksman magazine. Next we have ourselves the Guarani. The Guarani is a sniper rifle chambered in medium ammunition, and it comes with a suppressor. This only takes semi-fire mode, and it does have 550 meter range. And when equipping this one, there's minus 15% movement speed. As for damage, it gives 105 headshot damage, 65 to the spine, and 57 to the arms and to the legs. There's also a second version for this. The only difference is that when equipping it, you have minus 5% movement speed, but it does come with a default 5 bullet magazine. Obviously later on, you can also reload to the 10 bullet version. Next we have ourselves the Zubeknakov. The Zubeknakov is a primary weapon, and it takes semi and auto. And this weapon is compatible with Ranger magazines. It does have 6.95 rounds per second fire rate, and it takes sides, grips, and barrels. As for damage, it gives 46 to the head, 33 to the spine, and 25 to the arms and to the legs. Next we have ourselves the Arbalest. The Arbalest is the first weapon that we have today, which is a heavy ammunition weapon which can raid. This is a primary weapon, and it is a semi weapon. It does have 450 meter range. When equipping this, your movement speed is reduced to 15%. As for damage, it gives 110 headshot damage, 80 to the spine, and 60 to the arms and to the legs. Now, since it is a high caliber weapon, it does raid, and it gives 45 barricade and 45 structure damage. Next, we have ourselves the Akimbo Shockwaves, which is a dual shotgun chambered in 12 gauge shells. Obviously, this is a primary weapon, and it is a semi weapon. It does have 35 meter range, and it has 1.67 rounds per second. It gives 50 headshot damage, 33 to the spine, and 29 to the arms and to the legs. Next, we have ourselves the Kalango. The Kalango is a primary weapon, and this is a marksman magazine weapon. Its fire modes are semi and auto, and it does have 600 meter range. Fire rate is 2.08 rounds per second, and it takes sights and grips. For damage, it gives 59 to the head, 36 to the spine, and 23 to the arms and to the legs. Next we have ourselves the Insurgent. The Insurgent is compatible with Ranger magazines. It is a primary weapon, and it is a semi and an auto weapon. It does have 200 meter range, and it does give 6.95 rounds per second. It does have 44 headshot damage, 32 to the spine, and 24 to the arms and to the legs. Next we have ourselves the Mao Serka. The Mao Serka is a primary weapon and is a semi-weapon, and it does have 550 meter range. It does take marksman magazines, and it comes with a pre-installed scope. It does have 3.47 rounds per second, and it takes grips and barrels. It does give 60 player headshot damage, 40 to the spine, and 25 to the arms and to the legs. Next we have ourselves Snubnose. Snubnose is a revolver chambered in light ammunition, and it is compatible with ace clips. It is a primary and a secondary weapon, and it can be a semi-weapon. It does have 85 meter range and 5.95 rounds per second, and this does not take any attachments. It gives 58 headshot damage, 42 to the spine, and 31 to the arms and to the legs. Next we have ourselves the Shockwave. The Shockwave is a 12 gauge shells, and it is a semi-weapon. It does have 35 meter range and 4.17 rounds per second. It only takes a sight attachment, and it does give 30 headshot damage, 20 to the spine, and 17 to the arms and to the legs. Next we have ourselves the Maurus. The Maurus is a semi and an auto weapon, and it is compatible with Lance magazines, which can be chambered in light ammunition. It does have 125 meter range, and it does have 13.89 rounds per second. It does take sights, grips, and barrels. As for damage, it gives 24 to the head, 19 to the spine, and 14 to the arms and to the legs. Next we have ourselves the Becher. The Becher is a German light machine gun chambered in medium ammunition, and it is compatible with Becher boxes. It is a primary weapon, and it is an auto weapon. It does have 150 meter range and 10.42 rounds per second. When equipping this, you do have minus 25 movement speed, and the only attachments you can put in it are sights and grips. As for damage, it gives 35 to the head, 25 to the spine, and 19 to the arms and to the legs. Next we have ourselves the Rattlesnake. The Rattlesnake is a primary weapon, and it is a semi and auto weapon. It does have 125 meter range, and it is compatible with Lance magazines. It does have 8.33 rounds per second, and the only attachment you can put in it is a sight. For damage, it gives 29 to the head, 21 to the body, and 16 to the arms and to the legs. Next we have ourselves the Rocketnik. The Rocketnik is a rocket launcher, compatible with medium rockets, and this does raid. This is a semi weapon obviously, and it does have 12 meters range. When you equip this, you have minus 20% movement speed. It does give 400 barricade damage and 500 structure damage. Next we have ourselves the Nikarev. The Nikarev does raid, and it is chambered in heavy ammunition. This is a primary weapon, and this is an auto weapon. It does have 150 meter range and 8.33 rounds per second. The only attachment that it takes is a sight. When equipping this, you do have minus 20% movement speed. For damage, it gives 60 to the head, 38 to the spine, and 28 to the arms and to the leg. And it does give 7 barricade damage and 10 structure damage. Next we have ourselves the Sword of Master Key. The Sword of Master Key is chambered in 20 gauge shells, and it is a secondary weapon. It is a semi weapon, and the range is 35 meters. It does have 8.33 rounds per second. As for damage, it gives 28 to the head, 22 to the body, and 19 to the arms and to the legs. Next we have ourselves the Master Key. The Master Key is chambered in 20 gauge shells, and it is a primary weapon. It is a semi weapon and 35 meter range. It does have 8.33 rounds per second. For damage, it gives 25 to the head, 20 to the body, and 17 to the arms and to the legs. Next we have ourselves the Guardian, which is chambered in medium ammunition. It is a primary weapon, and it is a semi and auto weapon with 200 meter range. It does have 2.78 rounds per second. As for damage, it gives 56 to the head, 36 to the spine, and 27 to the arms and to the legs. Next we have ourselves the Thunderbolt, which is chambered in light ammunition. This is a primary and secondary weapon, and this is a semi weapon. It does have 100 meter range and 13.89 rounds per second, and it takes tacticals and barrels. It gives 36 to the head, 21 to the body, and 18 to the arms and to the legs. Next we have ourselves the Nail Gun. This is a semi weapon with 25 meter range, 13.89 rounds per second, and it does take tacticals. For damage, it gives 20 to the head, 15 to the body, and 11 to the arms and to the legs. Next we have ourselves the Uru. The Uru is a submachine gun chambered in light ammunition and compatible with Lance magazines. It is a secondary weapon, and it is an auto weapon. It does have 135 meter range, and its fire rate is 6.95 rounds per second. It does take sights and barrels. For damage, it gives 27 to the head, 18 to the body, and 13 to the arms and to the legs. Next we have ourselves the Chain Breaker. The Chain Breaker is a mythical weapon, and it is a semi and an auto weapon. It does have 120 meter range, and it's 6.95 rounds per second. For damage, it gives 44 to the head, 32 to the body, and 24 to the arms and to the legs. Next we have ourselves the Crossbow, which is a mechanical crossbow compatible only with arrows. It is a primary weapon, and it is a semi weapon with 200 meter range, and it does have 0.56 rounds per second. It takes sights and tacticals. As for damage, it gives 110 to the head, 65 to the body, and 40 to the arms, and 65 to the legs. There are a lot of different arrows for this. There's eucalyptus arrows, poison tipped arrows, normal arrows, maple arrows, explosive arrows, and pine arrows. Next we have ourselves the BB pistol. The BB pistol is compatible with BB pellets, and it is a semi weapon. It does have 80 meter range and 6.95 rounds per second. This does give 12 player headshot damage, 8 to the spine, and 6 to the arms and to the legs. Next we have the Mapinguari. This is a recoilless rifle, and it is compatible only with RCL cartridges, and this does raid. It's a semi weapon, and it does have 900 meter range. When equipping this, you have minus 30% movement speed. As for damage, it gives 600 player headshot damage, 375 to the spine, and 300 to the arms and to the legs. It does give 600 barricade damage and 750 structure damage. Next we have ourselves the Sword of Thumper. Sword of Thumper is a grenade launcher and compatible with medium grenades, and this does raid. It is a secondary weapon, semi, and it does have 150 meter range. For this, you can either put in medium bounce grenades or medium grenades. After the sawed-off thumper, there's also the normal thumper, which is basically the exact same, except that the normal thumper does have higher range, being 200-meter range. Next we have ourselves the Hellseher. The Hellseher is a rifle chambered in medium ammunition, and this is compatible with marksman and magazines. It is a primary weapon and it is a semi and auto weapon with 225-meter range, and it does have 1.67 rounds per second. It does have sights, tacticals, and grips, and it gives 66 player headshot damage, 44 to the spine, and 27 to the arms and to the legs. Next we have ourselves the Injector. The Injector is chambered in medium ammunition and compatible with military magazines. It is a primary weapon and is a semi, auto, and burst weapon with 200-meter range. It does have 8.33 rounds per second, and it takes all attachments, which are sights, tacticals, grips, and barrels. As for damage, it gives 44 player headshot damage, 29 to the body, and 22 to the arms and to the legs. Next we have ourselves the Viper. The Viper is a primary weapon, which is a semi and an auto weapon. It does have 125-meter range. It does come with a flashlight as well, and it is compatible with lance magazines, which is chambered in light ammunition. It does have 10.42 rounds per second, and it takes sights and barrels. It does give 27 headshot damage, 20 to the spine, and 15 to the arms and to the legs. Next we have ourselves the Dragon Maw. The Dragon Maw is a machine gun chambered in medium ammunition. It is a primary weapon, and it is a semi and an auto weapon, and it does have 160 meters. It does have 10.42 rounds per second as well, and it takes sights, tacticals, and grips. As for movement speed, it is reduced by 25%. It gives 33 headshot damage, 24 to the spine, and 18 to the arms and to the legs. Next we have ourselves the Oak Bear. The Oak Bear is a primary and a secondary weapon, and it is a semi-weapon with 100-meter range. It does have 13.89 rounds per second, and is a tactical weapon. It does give 36 to the head, 21 to the spine, and 18 to the arms and to the legs. Next we have ourselves the Lancehead. The Lancehead is a submachine gun chambered in light ammunition, and it is compatible with lance magazines. It is a secondary weapon with auto weapon, and it does have 125-meter range. It does have 5.21 rounds per second as well, and the only attachment that it takes is a barrel. The damage that it gives is 33 to the head, 22 to the spine, and 16 to the arms and to the legs. Next we have ourselves the Serrano. Serrano is a secondary weapon, and it takes semi and auto fire modes with 80-meter range. Its fire rate is 13.89 rounds per second, and it takes grips and barrels. It gives 22 player headshot damage, 16 to the spine, and 12 to the arms and to the legs. Next we have ourselves the Sword of Serrano, which is basically a sort-of version of the previous weapon we just went over, but it does have the stats that they are basically the same. Next we have ourselves the Leo. The Leo is a primary and a secondary weapon which is semi, and it does have 90-meter range. It has 8.33 rounds per second, and it takes tacticals and barrels. The damage that it gives is 37 to the head, 22 to the spine, and 16 to the arms and to the legs. Next we have ourselves the Insignia. The Insignia is a pistol chambered in light ammunition and compatible with Insignia magazines. It is a semi-weapon, and it does have 110-meter range. And it has 8.33 rounds per second, and the only attachment that you can put in it is a hook. It gives 36 player headshot damage, 23 to the spine, and 19 to the arms and to the legs. Next we have ourselves the Ace. The Ace is a semi-weapon compatible with Ace Clip, which can be chambered in light ammunition. It gives 125-meter range and 4.17 rounds per second. As for damage, it gives 58 to the head, 42 to the spine, and 31 to the arms and to the legs. Next we have ourselves the Jararaca, which is chambered in marksman magazines. This is a primary weapon and is a semi and auto weapon with 225-meter range. Its fire rate is 5.21 rounds per second, and it takes tacticals and grips. It gives 50 player headshot damage, 32 to the spine, and 24 to the arms and to the legs. And the final weapon we have ourselves is the Constrictor. The Constrictor is a primary weapon compatible with lance magazines, which is chambered in light ammunition. It is a semi and an auto weapon with 125-meter range and 13.89 fire rate. It does take sides, grips, and barrels. As for damage, it gives 25 to the head, 20 to the body, and 15 to the arms and to the legs. And that is it for this video. I really hope that you guys did learn something. There's a lot of new guns in this update, which I am actually a huge fan of. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know which is your favorite weapon, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!